Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. My mission is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. We're going to have a look at Bitcoin, but we're going to look at it slightly differently. I'll explain why, and I'll explain how as well. When you look at this particular chart, the first thing that you should do is to gain some idea of where the support and resistance levels are. So let's go for that. Remember, this is not how you should do things, but we're going to do it this way anyway. The first support is around that 26,962 level, just through here. Now, why have I picked that? Why didn't I move it up here or move it down there? Why did I actually put it in there? Because statistically, there's variation around this line. I'm trying to encounter that variation and normalize it. That's why. That's a good way to do a line like that. But still, we're doing RIP, recent indicative price. What about the next level of support? I've just put it in here. Why didn't I put it in lower? Because when we talk about average variability, you could definitely move it lower. But I'm very interested in this area because that held up particularly well. Let's put another line in. We can see this line just going from around the top through this average variability. That's a fairly good line. So the price is here. These lines above would resist price going higher. But what happens if it gets above one of these lines? It has the potential to challenge the next line. So RIP thinking goes. Remember, recent indicative price. Let's get a little bit more sophisticated and let's draw in a trend line. This trend line is between these two particular points. We don't even care about that. I guess if I'm doing everything wrong, then I should fit recent price. I should make it all about this price and create a story. Even when I'm mucking around, I can't muck around that much. That's just over the top. What do we see here? We can see a resistance line. This is just bonus because we're not even caring about that. We're trying to understand where the structure is inside the market. You learn how to draw lines like this inside the CTKS Masterclass and also the CTKS method. Now we'll look about and around recent indicative price. We can see that this resistance has been overcome. It's now turned to support. We look at all of this confluence of resistance around here and we say, oh, okay, that may be a little bit hard for the price to get through, but it happened quite a while ago. Let's draw in another support. So we have this support between this area and this area. That's actually got a lot of positive air. That's showing a lot of strength to challenge this next resistance. We've got structural resistance on a short-term basis around here, then up here. The question is, where do you think price is going? Do you think it will challenge and overcome this and actually hit this resistance line? Or do you think it will find support and then just wobble around or break down? This is a really important thing to ask yourself. Bitcoin is currently trading at 28,442. Now, many of you have already seen it. I've been so naughty. Sorry about that. I've inverted the scale. What does that mean? And Ken, how could you? You can see the inversion of the scale between 26,085 down to 29,200. Clearly this scale has been inverted. So let's make it real. What you can see is an entirely different story, but on social media they do this all the time. It's a bit of an April Fool's prank, but the concept is it's really powerful to understand this. How does your analysis change now that you know that the price has been inverted? This is the normal price, but there's one more thing that we really have to talk about. This is a time period that basically spans a little over 5 days. Would you be betting the farm? Would you be betting your house or car against the structure of these lines? Are they that strong that you would make a decision. Hopefully you would say, no way, Ken, I wouldn't do that for nuts. Bitcoin has been around since 2009. I can't just analyze 5 days of price action and make a conclusion. Correct, you can't. How do we get over this problem? We use the CTKS method to draw in our SCs or Stanfield zones. They reveal objective dynamic market structure. Objective dynamic market structure, what does it mean? Objective means that you've got a very, very specific way of doing it. It's like a scientific method. What about dynamic? Dynamic means that it moves around, and it does move around. And because it moves around, you need to be able to change your mind. And what about market structure? It literally is market structure. It's the structure of Bitcoin's price action from the time it was virtually nothing right till now, where it's currently $28,439. If people were just looking across the past 5 days, they could say, oh, look at this massive support down here. Where is the support? Well, it's not great, but from 27,312 to 27,390, there is a minor support level. Where is the next real support level? It's around here from 27,843 to $28,038. What do we see? Is there any resistance above? Not for the moment. What about this big support level here drawn on the 5-day? Well, it doesn't mean anything. I'm going to flip the chart around again, and now we have the CTKS method on it. Do you notice how recent indicative price actually leads people astray? The market structure, the dynamic market structure, is at completely different levels. If you like this kind of analysis and you find it useful, please let me know in the comments and I'll do more of it for you. Remember, we're looking at an inverted chart. How do you tell? If the numbers start low and they end up high, that's the absolute opposite way that it should go. That's why you know it's inverted. Look for that. It's really important. You'll see a lot of charts on social media. They love to invert them and say all sorts of naughty things. But now you're forewarned and forearmed. You can also tell that a lot of people just go from recent indicative price, and you'll see it all the time. It's plastered over social media. And unfortunately, also in the mainstream media, in the mainstream news media, it's just everywhere. But professionals don't look at price action in that way. Let's start to clean this up. What we can do is just get rid of this particular line because it doesn't exist. And we'll get rid of this one because by the time price actually gets there, it's already gone through this level. So that's not real either. And what about this line? It's clearly not right. You have this area and that area. So you can see all 3 cases of recent indicative price were actually incorrect in terms of objective dynamic market structure. And that is only revealed through the CTKS method, which is a method I invented. If this was legitimate price action, we would say there's all this resistance just here above current price. It could be magnetized to that and be rejected. And it's got a little bit more resistance, but don't forget, this is an inverted price we're looking at. Hence, we need to actually flip the chart back so you can see if price is always moving in a wave, and it is possible for Bitcoin to come down and retest around this 27,843 to 28,038 level. One of the things that you'll continuously see, these smart money buy levels, when price is above, it's a smart money buy level. When price is below, it's a smart money sell level. But they have gravitational force. Just keep that in mind. It's always ping-ponging between them. What we actually see, there's a gravitational pull towards this lower area. Price is closer to the lower area than to the higher area. This is something to bear in mind when it comes to gravity. And if you've learned anything new, please let me know in the comments. Each and every day, 7 days a week, I aim to give you something new that I hope you don't know and you haven't known before. And being inside financial markets for more than 3 decades, I have so much to share with you. A lot of people will tell you that they know where Bitcoin is going because they've looked at the Bitcoin chart. That is absolutely not true. Ken, how could you say that? We just look at the chart. Of course it's true. No, it's not. But why isn't it? Because different charts are impacted by different things. The US government plans to sell 41,000 Bitcoin connected to Silk Road. When people see a news headline like this, what do? They panic first and research second. Inside our global family, we do the exact inverse of that. What do we actually see here? On March the 14th, 2023, the government sold nearly 10,000 Bitcoin for $216 million approximately. What do we need to do? The first thing I would do is to go back and look at March the 14th. So let's do that together. Here it is, March the 14th, and we don't know exactly what time they sold, but the concept is there was a little bit of negative price momentum, and then what happened? Well, Bitcoin rallied. The next question you should ask yourself, is that approximately 10,000 Bitcoin part of the 41,000? Is there 31,000 left, or are they talking about 41,000? That's an important question to answer. We can see it was not. There was originally 51,352 Bitcoin seized. That means there's about 41,500 Bitcoin out there. One of the questions that you could ask, why didn't they sell? Why didn't they dump the whole 51,000 Bitcoin on the market all at once? Why did they only take 9,861 and sell that? The next question that you want to ask yourself when you're doing your research, US government plans to sell 41,000 Bitcoin. Okay, so we know it's 41,000 outstanding. When is it planning to sell it? One easy way to check, Control F and just type in plan. So we got plans, the US government plans to liquidate, and we don't have anything else. So what do we left to understand here? Well, we only understand that there's 41,000 Bitcoin out there and the US government is likely to sell it. Will it dump it? If it was going to dump it, it would have sold all the Bitcoin that it confiscated, those 51,352. It's more likely to sell around 10,000 Bitcoin. We don't know this for sure, but it seems to be the way they're working now. And of course, when we look at 10,000 sells in Bitcoin, it really didn't alter the price too much, and there was a pretty rapid recovery as well. The other thing we know that as of March the 31st, we found out that they sold on March the 14th. The article said in the court filing that 4 more batches of approximately 10,000 Bitcoin each are going to be sold. A lot of people will be making waves about this, but what do we see in terms of how Bitcoin reacted? It didn't really care. Don't forget, the governments basically all around the world are broke. They want to get their best price on their recovered stolen assets. They say the crime doesn't pay unless, of course, you're a lawyer or you're the government. And in that case, it pays really, really well. So it's pretty fair to see that the US enforcement agencies are turning up the heat on crypto-related crime. They want the money. Inside the masterclass, we have a very, very structured way of looking at the markets. We understand that we must have our foundations in play. If we don't have that, we're in a lot of trouble. Then we must check world events, collecting probabilities and checking the stock markets. Over the past couple of weeks, I hope I've showed you how important that actually is. And if you've just joined the channel, a very warm welcome. And please have a look at the past videos. They will really, really help you out. Then we go back into the crypto market. finding the market's focus, and that always starts with Bitcoin. But there's something very, very important that I need to show you next. Just bear in mind, without the right mindset, you'll be buying and selling at the wrong time because you'll be controlled by fear. Let's just have a quick look at the S&P 500. When you look at the S&P 500, it's really interesting to go from a peak to a peak and see how much things changed. Of course, I've inverted this chart as well, but a lot of people will be saying from a short-term perspective, there is a bit of short-term resistance here and potentially down here. And what about there and there? That's what they typically do. I'm going to turn this chart around for you, just uninvert it, because I've got something very important to tell you and directly impacts Bitcoin. The S&P closed at 41.09 and we can see it's just reaching into this smart money now sell level, and there's quite a bit of resistance now between 41.03 and 41.76. It doesn't mean that the S&P 500 can't get through that, but what it does mean is it's likely to stall and potentially retrace. Be aware, when there's a lot of overhead resistance, basically the sellers gain strength and the buyers run out of steam. We saw that a lot just recently with XRP. What actually happens if the S&P 500 starts to run out of steam? What will that do to the crypto market? It's very important to understand this. What do you think in the comments? What do you think will happen if the S&P 500 starts to turn around here and starts to retrace? One thing to bear in mind, we have an absolute ton of smart money buy levels between 38.43 and 39.47. It's really, really strong down there. This can give you a bit of an insight into what to expect with Bitcoin as the S&P 500 is starting to hit quite a degree of overhead structural resistance. The S&P 500 ascent will be slowed. It could even potentially reverse. Alternately, it may start to consolidate. Because we have our daily three-dimensional risk management, we are prepared for all three scenarios. Another thing I would like to show you. When we look at the S&P 500, we can see that it goes up and down. Price is always moving in a wave. We got up to 6% here, around 9% up, 7.3% up, 11.5, 9.6, about 19, 17, nearly 17.5, 11, nearly 11.5, and we're up to about 8. The question is this particular rally overextended or not? And let's just zoom in here a little bit. You can see that inside an upward movement, you've always got price moving in a wave up and down, up and down. So we could actually get a bit of a retracement, but that could keep the S&P 500 structure in play. The thing to remember is the price is always moving in a wave. If you understand this fundamental, you'll go really, really well inside the markets. Another thing to understand, and this can be a really tough thing to learn, when price comes down, it can often come down very, very quickly and it can wipe out a lot of gains. That's why you need to keep your eyes on price action. The most important thing, because you have your three-dimensional thinking in play at all times, you're never caught off guard because you've decided ahead of time. Another thing to note, when price comes down to a smart money level, and it comes down quite a lot, that can be the ultimate time to get in. And why do I say that? Because it's just the nature of the markets. The markets come down, they take away, and then they give back. They take away, give back. Take away, give back. That's what they're always doing. A lot of people, when they start in financial markets, they think it's only one direction or the other. If price is going to go up, it's going up forever. If price is coming down, it's going to go to zero. And that's just not the way financial markets work. They hit structural buy areas and structural sell areas. That's why the CTKS method is so incredibly valuable to you. You can see it. You can actually put your X-ray vision on and see where the smart money is going to sell and where smart money is going to buy. One thing the professionals do, they always read news headlines and try to understand what the normal retail investor and trader would do. And generally that's FOMO or FUD, but it's always fear. When people read a headline, US government plans to sell 41,000 Bitcoin, they immediately say, oh no, they're going to dump 41,000 Bitcoin on the market tomorrow. In fact, it's probably right now. I better get out. We've seen recently with the SP 500, because the SP 500 was under so much incredibly strong support, it didn't break down. And that's come as a huge relief to just about everyone. If you have strong support underneath, you're pretty much okay. But if you have strong resistance above, you're not okay. Fortunately, with Bitcoin, this particular level between 27,843 and 28,038 is not too bad. It's moderately strong. But this particular resistance up here from 29,957 to 30,166 is also relatively strong. I just wanted to show you how the S&P 500 moves around, because if you understand this up and down action, the down action will not actually get you out of the market, it will get you into the market, because that's exactly how smart money acts. This video has literally been about inverted thinking, inverted analysis. When you see price coming down, get really interested in leaning in. And we always buy in levels and layers down. Do not be afraid of the red market. Actually get excited about it. And one thing that you'll see, the more it drops off a cliff, the more likely it is to actually recover. This very fast shoot down is generally a really good thing to get involved with. When they grind lower, well, that's a little bit harder. You generally just have to wait things out. But you will know where to enter and where to exit the market, because you have your three-dimensional thinking and your smart money buy and sell levels, as well as your positive excellence. You're not fearful, you're courageous. Something that you might like to do today as part of your active learning, and the way to get synchronized in with the market is to actively learn each and every day. Just do a little bit of improvement. 1% a day really adds up. Just go to your favorite chart on whatever that is. It can be stocks, forex, crypto, whatever you like, gold, even oil. Do this up and down analysis and let me know what you find. You can also do the down percentages as well. It's really, really fascinating. I'm looking forward to hearing what you find out. Doing things like this is literally like digging for gold. Yes, we love gold. Gold is awesome. And so is everything else. Positive excellence is the foundation of our community. Please have a read of the comments in yesterday's video. They were just unbelievably good. Each and every day we share so much wisdom between ourselves. It's just beautiful to see. Learning is the key in everything, and not blaming. You don't want to blame because you'll disempower yourself. As Brett said in the comments yesterday, when you read out the CTKS Creed, and I pop it up each and every day just to remind you to actually think and grab great habits, great positive habits, because better habits create a better life. And when we think all results come from the mind, it's really important to attune the mind for the right things. Brett was saying, if you don't read the creed with passion, really putting your belief into it, what will happen is the negative aspects of your mind will reject these words. Negativity always makes everything smaller. Life is far too short, my friends. Make your life larger, not smaller. Let's go for it. CTKS Creed is all about daily positive affirmations for abundance, financial success, and happiness. I'll read it all. I know the universe is designed to make me succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy, I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. I always solve my problems with positive excellence. By reading and embracing these ideas and ideals, your life will be transformed for the better. It makes you bulletproof inside financial markets, and you really need to be bulletproof. There's a lot of fear that can go on. You need a way to disconnect from all the negativity and keep on pushing forward each and every day. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.